There's a market for all. Simple.
Over the last year, 500,000 Britons suddenly just up sticks and decided to move somewhere new. LVs. And they all probably
She knows how to fucking do it. I've already been there.
Fact is, our no claims discount can reach a whopping 75% off. Over
Grabbing
1,000
the
people a
baby,
day are
the
joining
arms are
LV.
still past
Join
her
them
head.
and you can enjoy cheaper car insurance too. Call 0800 656 656 or go to lv.com.
She knows what she's doing.
The decapitated remains of 57 Viking warriors are discovered in a shallow grave.
It really is chilly.
Using detailed reenactment and new forensic techniques, we asked the question, were they killed in the midst of an epic battle?
I've only seen one other modern forensic decapitation, which was in Bosnia.
Or was there something far more sinister involved?
This is a terrible moment in human history.
Viking Apocalypse premieres Wednesday at 9 on National Geographic Channel.
Hillsborough County Jail takes every precaution to keep deputies and inmates safe. Sometimes inmates explode with rage and violence. Deputy Garcia has witnessed it close up. Several months ago, she was at the jail when a fellow officer, Deputy Moon, was attacked in the mental health pod.
Deputy Moon was a fantastic deputy. Being a veteran deputy, maintained his pod very well. The inmate definitely was in crisis. He had received some information, I believe, coming back from court, and it was time to lock down for lunch. And he took every opportunity that he could to lash out at Deputy Moon.
Deputy Moon was at the desk. He didn't see the inmate come round the side until it was too late. He was trapped in his chair.
The chair was extremely difficult
Because
to
of the
get out of.
position.
It was on wheels.
Deputy Moon was on the verge of being choked to death, according to Deputy Gray.
The inmate was behind him, was able to literally put him in a chokehold that had Deputy Moon probably in the last seconds of his life choking the life out of him. He had that kind of grip.
It was Deputy Moon's trustees actually came to his aid.
The inmates knocked the attacker and Deputy Moon to the ground and pried his arms off the officer's throat. Another inmate called for help.
Fortunately, some of these guys have been back and forth to jail a few times and had a definite good rapport with Deputy Moon.
It was Deputy Moon's commitment to the inmates that saved his life.
The other inmates were able to subdue the suspect and get him out of the pod. If it wasn't for those 4 inmates, Deputy Moon would have been with us today. And the reason they did that was the respect that they had for him. Without that respect, they might have not ever intervened.
Deputy Moon survived the attack with minor injuries, though he retired not long after. As one of the 3 intel officers, Master Deputy Gray is responsible for preventing violence against deputies and inmates.
The biggest part of our job is the safety and security of our inmates and our deputies. And if that's stopping contraband coming in, and if it's weapons, if we can save a life, that's our job.
You're not finished yet.
In the last few weeks, both weapons and drugs have been found. There are gaps in security which Gray needs to close.
Contraband and shakedowns and constant monitoring of contraband in our facility is 24/7, 365 days a year. That's something we deal with daily.
A variety of deadly homemade weapons have been confiscated from inmates.
This was found, it looks like a normal book. The officer was diligent enough to go through it, and what he found was it had been carved out page by page, and what it was concealing was a toothbrush fastened with 2 razor blades, one on each side. The thread was used probably out of one of the bed sheets, and it was affixed to the toothbrush. All of a sudden, you got an easy cutting instrument for cutting a deputy or another inmate.
Lethal weapons aren't that difficult to come by.
They can make a weapon literally within seconds by taking just a simple food tray lid and breaking it off and taking that to the rec yard and maybe spending maybe a minute or 2 and using the concrete to sharpen it into a fine point. And there you go. You have a makeshift, what they would call a shank. And to feel that, it would take hardly any pressure at all, especially to the neck area, to catch a vein. And that probably took somebody literally, take them 5 minutes. They're very intelligent. They've got nothing but time on their hands. Where we do 12 hours, they do 24. It's a constant battle.
One inmate has just come from state prison where he's doing time for murder. 25-year-old Chad Thomas spent 4 years at Hillsborough Jail awaiting trial on a murder charge. He pleaded no contest and got sent to the penitentiary for 25 years.
I spent 5.5 years waiting to go to trial and fighting and process of going to court and back to court. And I got found, I pleaded guilty of no contest and accepted a plea of 25 years.
In state prison, Thomas met guys who would never see freedom again.
Going to prison, your first thoughts is how you can get out. The best way, how you can find your way to get yourself out of it. Because everybody, and some people with 3 and 4 life sentences that ain't never leaving. And I got 25 years, I got a day. But it's a long day, but I got a day. And some people that don't have days. So I thank God I got a day.
Once inside, Thomas realized 25 years in the penitentiary is a long time. He's come back to appeal against his conviction.
This ain't what it is. I'm too young to be locked up all my life.
Thomas is glad to be away from state prison for a few weeks.
You at a place where it's people who really did their crime, who really killed somebody. So you're not always comfortable. You're comfortable at a certain extent. All right, I'm all right. But I know that I'm in a place where it's like when they say vultures. You know what I'm saying? You're surrounded by vultures. It's reality.
Unlike his earlier time at Hillsborough, Thomas will be locked down by himself all day, every day, except for 3 hours a week, because now he's a convicted murderer.
Chad was in isolation. He's here for first-degree murder. Obviously, if we're not careful with him and he doesn't think things are going to go well in court for him and he sees the opportunity to escape, then he can do that. But he won't do it on our watch.
It's not what Thomas expected. For her own safety and theirs, Deputy Garcia tries to stay attuned to the shifting moods of the prisoners. One of her inmates, Amber Tackett, has received bad news. Tackett, a drug user convicted of trafficking, has done 8 months at Hillsborough. She just completed a mandatory 3-month drug program.
Because the charges were drug-related, they ordered me to take a substance abuse program, which is a 3-month program here. It's very effective. It's scary, but I've got a plan, thank God for that, so I'm gonna try everything that I can to stay out of here. That was the last thing I expected to hear.
She's ready to go home and turn her life around. But there's a problem. She's wanted in Tennessee for violation of probation. She was hoping that her time at Hillsborough would count.
I have 8 months in here, and then I think I had a couple months in up there, so I was hoping maybe that's how I'm going to be credited, but I was facing going to prison for a number of years on the violation in Tennessee, so I didn't know what was going on. I was just hoping for the best.
Now Tackett may be looking at years in state prison.
We found out that there was a hold for Tennessee. So her class graduated, her class got to go home, they got to be released, and she stayed.
It sucks to watch everybody else walk out the door knowing. And then today I was just like wondering, I didn't know how long I was going to have to sit here, how long I would be waiting for them to come and get me.
Tackett has turned to Deputy Garcia to help her find out